どうしたって消せない夢も止まれないまま誰かのために強くなれるなら何度でも立ち上がれ
I didn't mean it. Oops, we've been discovered. Zhuxi had no choice but to go out. How much did she hear? Fu Nancheng looked at her with a distant and cold gaze. Since when were you there? What did you hear just now? Fu Nancheng said in a deep voice. Can she say she heard everything? Looking at his cold and handsome face, Zhuxi considered her words and said, I heard Lu Yao asked you not to come to our class to help. What else? Didn't you hear anything else? That's it, nothing else. You little liar, you lied to me again and never told the truth. You don't have to think too much about it. What she said has nothing to do with you. Fu Nancheng curled his lips and a wicked charm appeared in the corners of his narrow eyes. I didn't think it had anything to do with me, so you don't need to remind me, Zhuxi quickly denied. So you did hear it and you cared. Fu Nancheng stretched out his hand and pinched her small chin, forcing her to look up so that her delicate and refined face fell into his eyes. Who cares? She didn't think so, and she knew that he didn't do it because of her, so there was no need for him to say that to humiliate her. So tell me, what are you doing in the parking lot? Did you know I was here? Fu Nancheng stood up straight and distanced himself from the other party. The ambiguity just now disappeared instantly. Can't I just pass by? Zhuxi glared at him. Seeing her looking at him, Fu Nancheng squinted his eyes and looked her up and down with a sarcastic arc at the corner of his lips. You don't even have a car and you're passing by a parking lot? Zhuxi, go back. I won't give extra lessons to your class. Zhuxi did not explain but retorted, I never asked you to come. Mr. Fu is really imaginative. I have something else to do. I'll leave first. It must be for Lu Yao. No matter how much they quarreled, he would still do what she said. It is better to rely on yourself than on others. If you don't help me, I have my own way. After saying that, Zhuxi turned around and left. Don't come near me anymore, Zhuxi. There will be no result between us. Fu Nancheng lit a cigarette, his handsome brows a little depressed. At this moment, his WeChat rang with a ding sound. Any text messages? Sorry, senior, something happened suddenly, so I won't go. Didn't this genius junior school girl say she was coming to see him? I thought I could meet her this time and talk about the competition. Why did she suddenly stand me up? There's a problem? Regular classroom. Student Sue, how is it? Did the senior agree? No. Zhuxi returned to the regular class and told everyone that Fu Nancheng would not be coming. Everyone wailed. It's over, it's over. We really don't have a math teacher anymore. The last one is waving to us. This idea is not feasible in the first place. Lu Yao from the rocketry class is Professor Fu's fiancé. If she says something, Professor Fu will definitely not come. At this time, Zhuxi winked and said, But don't worry, you still have me. At that moment, the girl seemed to be surrounded by a layer of light shining brightly. Her jade-like face glowed with a crystal-clear luster and her clear eyes sparkled. All eyes were fixed on Zhuxi. You mean you come to teach us? Student Sue, are you really okay? No way. You want to rely on her? I heard that the test was a bit difficult, so I came to see what you poor students were going to do. I didn't expect the method was so funny. Everyone in the competition class was very excited. At noon, Ning Xiner led people to block the door of the regular class while boasting. Zhuxi also came out with the students from the regular class. Zhuxi looked at Ning Xiner and the others and said, Ning Xiner, all the students here came to Tsinghua University based on their own strengths. They have every reason to be proud. Please take back the word poor student. I almost forgot. No matter how bad they are, at least they got in through their own efforts, unlike some people who use backdoors and still feel justified. Do you think your competition class is sure to win? Of course. Let's make a bet on which class will get first place in the grade. The loser will be expelled from school. Zhuxi curled her lips, her eyes shining like stars in the sky. The students in the competition class all laughed. Ningxiner laughed so hard that tears came out. That's interesting, but expulsion is too light a punishment. What if the loser runs naked in the schoolyard? Li Yuding immediately stood up and said, Ningxiner, isn't it just because Fanjun dumped you? Zhuoming agreed. Student Su, absolutely not. How? You don't dare? Ningxiner wants to see Zhuxi running naked. No, we can't refuse, otherwise everyone will lose their enthusiasm and it will be more difficult to teach. Zhuxi knew that in this battle on the battlefield, they could not lose morale and people could only unleash their greatest potential when they were desperate. After all, they were facing the competition class of Tsinghua University, a very strong opponent. Zhuxi made the final decision. Who says we dare not? I agreed. We have a deal. Yes, there is nothing we are afraid of. Classmate Su has helped us so much. Zhuxi, thank you. We will win this time. Yes, we must not let classmate Su lose to the students in the competition class. Start studying now. Everyone's eyes immediately turned red and the awe-inspiring voice echoed throughout the entire campus. If hard work is useful, why do we need to divide the classes? You can't expect Zhuxi, a pretty face, to win. I'm waiting to see you running naked. Ningxiner and the students in the competition class left with satisfaction. The next day, changing the method, it should be like this. At this time, Zhuxi was still in class regular. She was explaining the questions to everyone. All the students in class regular were fascinated by her. The thinking of a genius is different from that of ordinary people. The difficult and obscure questions that Fang Ying usually explained became simple and clear when they were explained by Zhuxi. Our bet was posted on the school forum. Many people wanted to see Zhuxi running around. It was really disgusting. Don't worry, just read the revision manual I prepared carefully. They won't stand a chance. At this time, a melodious cell phone ringtone rang and a call came in. Wait a minute, I'm going out to answer a call. Zhuxi walked out to answer. Hello, who is this? Zhuxi, what on earth are you thinking? Mr. Fu, do you want to talk to me about something? Fu Nancheng's handsome face was immediately covered with ice, and his handsome features became tense. Come out, I'm outside. What? She had just stepped out into the corridor when a large hand suddenly reached out from outside, grabbed her slender arm, and pulled her out. Ah! Zhuxi screamed in fright. Don't scream. A familiar deep voice came from above my head. Zhuxi looked up and Fu Nancheng's handsome face enlarged in her sight. It's actually him. Fu Nancheng stretched out his big hand, grabbed her slender arm, and pulled her in front of him. Zhuxi struggled. What are you doing? Let me go. Do you want others to know that we know each other so much? I don't mind. No, no one can know about my past relationship with Fu Nancheng. Zhuxi curled her fingers, not wanting to say anything, and turned her little face away. I heard about the bet. Now he dragged her into the school corridor, where they were the only two people there. Fu Nancheng pushed her against the wall, then used his tall and handsome body to imprison her. The light in the corridor was very dim. He pursed his lips and looked at her. When you make a decision, can you please think about yourself and what you are going to do if you lose? The news that the competition class and class regular were going to compete in the advanced mathematics exam spread quickly, and the young men in the Beijing circle were excited and they all ran to the Tsinghua University forum to leave messages. This news soon reached Fu Nancheng's ears. Zhuxi raised an eyebrow. How can Mr. Fu be so sure that I will lose? The two of them were now too close, their breaths entangled with each other. Next episode preview. Zhuxi, don't fight for a moment. Zhuxi removed her hand from his big hand and said, Why do you care so much? Do you actually care? Fu Nancheng looked at her with his handsome eyelids lowered. I know you... What did you say? Zhuxi looked at him in confusion.